Welcome to Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi Sperduto, the podcast that's like having a personal business coach in your pocket, giving you bite-sized tips and small mindset shifts every week. I'm your host, Chrissi Sperduto. I'm a network marketer turned productivity and mindset coach who grew her businesses while holding down a successful career in aviation. I'm on a mission to help you fit your business into everyday life. I believe you are capable of achieving success no matter how chaotic your life is. Consider me your no-nonsense guide to getting it all done. Join me here on the podcast each week where we'll chat everything from systems to help you fit your business into real life, to business and marketing tips, plus time management hacks, mindset shifts that can help you find the courage to take the next step in your business, and real life stories to inspire and empower you to go after your goals. Let's go, CEO. We have work to do. Grab your favorite cup of coffee or wine, no judgment, and let's get ready to ditch those inner mean girl thoughts ringing in the back of your head so you can embrace your inner badass and go do the dang thing. Before we hop straight into this week's episode, my friend, I wanted to let you know that the Do the Dang Thing challenge is back. Yes, my free challenge where you can learn how to get out of overwhelm and into a state of order with your to-do list is back and starting on September 15th. This 6-day email challenge will give you all the tools in your toolbox that you need to get the chaos out of your head onto paper and start doing the dang thing every single day in your business. The challenge is going to run between September 15th and 20th with a group chat starting on the 13th and live coaching that is actually open to anyone, even if you're not doing the challenge again, on Thursday, September 19th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And when I ran the challenge last month, the breakthroughs were phenomenal. And I'm already getting feedback from friends that this has changed the way that they operate in their business, and they're feeling a sense of calm and relief. I have watched several challenge goers just kind of pop out of their shell and start doing the dang thing so much more consistently. And I'm so proud of them. And I want this level of transformation for you too. I want you to have a sense of control over your to-do list so you can stop sitting in confusion and start getting to work in your business. Start taking the action and going for it. I have to tell you though, the biggest thing that I got asked for the last time was a workbook. And I love a good workbook. So I was like, absolutely. But as a business owner, I know that there's a fine line between free value and what I should be charging for. So let this be your lesson. You are allowed to charge for things even if it's within a free challenge. So if you also love a workbook and you would like one to go along with this challenge, you can get a workbook this time around by upgrading to VIP. If you did the challenge last time and you want a workbook but don't want to do the challenge again, I can also make that happen. Just let me know. But the workbook is going to be a perfect solution for you if you hate to check your email or if you really just need a little bit more structure. It is going to have every day's prompts and space for you to work through that day's challenge. And it's even going to have a few bonus tips and tricks, some additional mindset shifts for you. And the VIPers are also going to get a bonus live training with me after the challenge to learn how to continue to implement this into their routines. So if you took the challenge last time and you found that you weren't implementing what you learned, I want to invite you to do the challenge again and upgrade to VIP for the extra structure and bonus training with me. If you did the challenge last time and you're like, this would be so beneficial to one of my friends, I want you to invite them to do the challenge alongside of you this time. I had so many people saying, oh my gosh, can my friend join? Can my friend join? And after day one, I was like, nope, no one else can join. I'm just going to run it again next month. So that's why they're so close together. And this will be actually the last time I run it for the rest of the year. So if you've been thinking about hopping in and doing it, just go ahead and grab it. And you can always come back to the challenge later and catch up, even if that particular week isn't ideal for you and your schedule. So, but my friend, you deserve that calm and that relief so you can jump into action in your business and start making progress on your goals. The year's not over yet, my friend. So join us for this challenge and let's start doing the dang thing. Welcome back to Do the Dang Thing podcast. I am your host, Chrissi, and I am joined today by a very, very special guest that I'm so excited to introduce you to. I have Hanna from Boundless Copy with me today. Hanna, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited that you said yes to coming on the podcast. And we actually have 2 podcasts lined up for you, which I'm so excited about.
No problem. No, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me on to chat about all of this stuff. You know, I'll talk about brand voice anytime anyone gives me a platform. So I'm hyped to be here.
I love it so much. So Hannah is an expert on brand voice. She is the founder and, in your words, the head copywriting gal for your copywriting agency, Boundless. From your website, Boundless is a company dedicated to clear messaging, sticky brand voice, and writing words that flip on the neon welcome sign for your dream people.
That's right, spot on.
I love that. I love the visualization of the neon welcome sign. Like it just clicks. I love it.
I'm glad. Yeah, that's what brand voice is supposed to do for you, you know? Like it's supposed to like make that connection for you and stick in your brain. So when we think about our dream people, we want every word we say to flip that sign on for them. I'm glad that connects with you.
Yes, I can see it. I remember working at a bar in college and we would have to flip on the signs, all the neon signs, because we were open for the afternoon. So that just connects in my brain, and I would guess that it will connect for most people as well. Do you get a lot of people saying like that is such a good visual?
Yeah, I do. So we actually started saying that only just in the last like 2 years. Boundless Copy has been around. I've been running it for 8 years. And we kind of had this period where for a long time I thought of myself as just like a freelance copywriter. And then a couple of years ago, I made this mental switch like, no, we're doing the dang thing. I'm a business owner. And when that happened, the Boundless identity was kind of reborn. And part of that was being like, what do we want our brand voice to like convey to people? What do we want our dream audience to like think of when they hear us? How is our clear, sticky voice popping out? And one of those lines is flipping on the neon welcome sign for your dream audience, because that's the whole basis of what Boundless can do for business owners and service providers. We want to make sure every word that you're using is authentically mirroring who you already are, but also talking directly to the people you actually want to like come to your site and book with you and trust you and invest in you. So that line really clicks with a lot of people, I found.
I love that. I love that you not only are so clear with your voice, but then help other people find their voice. So just from my little digging, my little squirreling around on your website over the last couple of days, I see that you have digital resources, done for you web copy, which, you know, that's hashtag dream one day to have someone rewrite all my copy. Brand voice strategy and soon to be digital courses. Is that correct?
That's right. So you're spot on. Boundless has been kind of doing a soft pivot in the last year. I will always work one-on-one with service providers and brands just because like I wouldn't do brand voice and web copy if I didn't love it. Like there's just something magical about it. But I also fully believe that, you know, you as a business owner, you know your brand so well, especially if you're like putting the work into it. You have the capability to write the best possible copy for your brand. Like I highly believe that, and I'm a copywriter who does it for a living, and I still think like other people can do it for their brand super well. What I want to do with digital courses and like some resources and templates is I want to teach you how to do that so that, yeah, maybe one day you can hire someone like me and heck, I'll be there. But in the meantime, like you can write really killer words that connect with your dream people, that flip on that sign for them, and that like help you really stand out. And the next thing coming up for Boundless right now is we have Brand Voice Roundup, which is a mini course, 5 days, 5 videos, a Notion template, because everybody loves Notion now, that's going to teach you how to write your own brand voice guide.
I'm a Trello girly. I'm sorry to tell you that.
No, I just got convinced to try Notion, and I hated it at first, and then suddenly something clicked for me, and I was like, wait a minute. I hear you. But so yeah, we do have some digital resources coming up, some courses that are going to teach business owners like, hey, you have the capability to write really powerful words. You just need a little guidance on how to do it.
I love that. And one of the other things that I really love is the way that you show up on social media. So you said, or I guess we've been talking about sticky brand voice, and that is just such a one unique way to describe it, and a great way to describe it. Your posts are so memorable. Like when I see your posts, I know they're from you. Your emails are also like, they sound like you. They're a little bit different, so it makes you pause and then you actually read it. When you read them, they're so easy to read, they're to the point, and it just feels like you're talking just to me, which I think where a lot of small business owners really get hung up of, okay, we're putting in the reps, we're showing up on social media, we built a website, we have offers, but we get lost in the sea of everyone else because we sound like everyone else. One of the things that I've done this year is actually unfollow everyone inside my niche because I would follow them and then inadvertently sound like them. And I don't want to sound like them. I want to sound like me. So, what is maybe the first steps for business owners to start getting that sticky, clear brand voice that makes them recognizable too?
Totally. And I love what you said too about how, like, well, first of all, thank you, because part of how I show up on socials and show up anywhere that on platforms is I want people to know who I am, how I'm different, and I want to stick out in their brain. So you telling me that that's happening, fabulous. I love to hear it. I also really love your point too about how, there are so many different amazing creators and service providers and business owners out there, and the spaces we're in are really saturated. And sometimes we all end up sounding identical. So it's hard to pick us out or set us apart. And I call that blending into the beige background. And when we talk about brand voice, we want you to pop and we want you to be bold and we want you to stand out in your niche. And that doesn't necessarily mean being the loudest person in the room or having the most charismatic phrases. When you have a bold brand voice, it means leaning into who you already are and who your audience needs you to be, and then having a ton of fun with it. And some of the things that we can start doing right now as business owners who want to show up and who want to stand out, I call it a two-step process. And the first thing is to go digging, and the second thing is to start listening. And when I tell you to go digging, I mean, as a business owner, I want you to really reflect. I want you to start thinking about the big, exciting questions behind your brand, and not just okay, what's my goal? I want to sell more. Obviously, we all want to sell more, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what are the really big goals? And when we go digging, that's digging into our purpose, digging into our people, digging into our mission, and kind of going into something I call the feeling first philosophy. So when your brand is putting its voice out there, and when you're interacting with people, I always want to know, what are you inspiring them to do and how are you making them feel? And I feel like if we can answer those questions first, instead of just oh, I've got to write an Instagram caption, I don't know how to say it. If you can answer those questions for yourself on how you want people to feel when they hear you and what you want to inspire them to do beyond just booking with you, the rest kind of comes naturally because now you have a little guideline for how you want your people to feel. And I think that's super important. And then secondly, when you start listening to yourself, you were recently in my brand voice bootcamp, and one of the challenges was to start this little brand voice dictionary. And a brand voice dictionary, I always tell business owners, best thing you can do for yourself, if you don't want to hire a copywriter, if you don't want to invest a ton of money into that right now, open up the notes app on your phone, title it your brand name, brand voice dictionary, and then I just want you to start paying attention to everything you say, to everything you write, to how you talk to your best friend. When you start paying attention to your personality and writing it down, and you have this living, breathing list of that cute thing you say or the quirky phrase you use or things that make you who you are as a brand, you can start putting those into your copy and you can start showing up consistently with those words. And then people are going to recognize you wherever you show up, which is super helpful, I think.
Yes. Actually, the name of this podcast came not from me listening, but my VA listening. She edited some stuff for me, and I guess she pulled out multiple times of me telling my students, just do the dang thing. Mm-hmm. Just make a decision and do the dang thing. And she sent me a cup for Christmas that said do the dang thing. And I'm I've never said that before in my life. And she's like, you said that at least 40 times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was paying attention. See the power of paying attention.
Yeah. Would it be a good exercise to have people that are maybe close to their business or close to them help them pick things out too?
Totally. When people struggle, because, we're our own worst critics sometimes too. So I had people in my recent Brand Voice Bootcamp challenge DM me or email me, and they were saying, I don't say anything special. There's nothing that I can put on this brand voice dictionary anyway. And my challenge to them is always ask your best friend what you say. Ask your kids why they make fun of you for the words that you say. Like, talk to the people who love you and care about you, and they can tell you how you talk and like how you sound and what your phrases are. So it's a great exercise to like pull the people in your lives.
I love that. Um, can you give them a couple tangible examples of like the words that are in your brand voice and that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I open up my brand voice dictionary, which is truly a notes app that I keep on my phone, and it's like living and breathing, it's always evolving. The words that come to mind, I always talk about brand voice by saying clear and sticky. So in my brand voice dictionary, you'll see clear and sticky brand voice. You'll definitely hear me saying, "Hey pal," all the time. I am never excited. I am always hyped. Hyped is the word we go to. There's like page after page after page of things that we refer to. And all of those things evolved because I was kind of looking at, number one, how I already talk. Naturally, I'm pretty charismatic, I'm pretty extroverted, I'm hyped all the time. This is just naturally who I am. But then brand voice is the perfect fusion of who you are and who your dream people need you to be. Dream people is another one in my brand voice dictionary. And when we're thinking about how we want to talk to these dream people, we want to find that sweet spot of overlap between, like I said, who we are, who they want us to be. And for example, when I look at "Hey pal" in my dictionary, that's how I greet everybody. That's how I open all my emails. That's how I talk to people on Instagram. It's how, if you DM me, I'm going to give you a "Hey pal." And that was born from paying attention to my personality. So I realized that's a thing I already say, but also from talking to my dream people and understanding what they need from me. So my understanding of my dream client is somebody who has maybe never worked with a copywriter before. You know, they're maybe new business owners, or maybe they've been doing it themselves for a really long time, but they're feeling intimidated by working with a copywriter. They don't need me to be like batting 1,000, showing them that I'm like the best in the world. They actually need a friend. They need someone who's really approachable. They need someone they're not scared of, because this process is kind of scary. So we look at "Hey pal," I already say that, and we look at they need me to be like extroverted and easy to talk to. And that's the perfect blend. And that's why that word or that phrase is in my brand voice dictionary.
I love that. And you do start absolutely everything with "Hey pal."
Consistency, that's what makes it sticky.
Okay, what else would you like to add about brand voice? Those were all my questions.
Yeah. I think the most important thing that I can tell any business owner about brand voice is that, number one, everybody's going to give you a different definition of it. The Boundless definition of brand voice is it's the like curated and consistent attitude that you are showing the world every time you show up. And it's how you like directly communicate all of your messaging, every word, every phrase, everything you need to say to people. It needs to come out with this style, because a lot of the times business owners are like, man, I've really nailed my messaging. I really know exactly what I need to say to people. And they do, but they're getting lost in the crowd because they sound just like everybody else. So your clear messaging doesn't really count if you're not saying it in a memorable way. So best thing I can say to business owners is definitely focus on your clear messaging and what sets you apart, but then don't skimp on saying it with style, your style. And I think it's important too to learn that leaning into your own brand voice is going to be the thing that people remember. I often get clients who say, well, so and so in my industry launched and sold so much, and this is how they sound, so I think I should sound like them. And that just doesn't work, because that's how they sound and it works for them. Replicating that, number one, you're going to blend in, and number two, it's not going to work. You need to lean into you. And that's my greatest advice for people who are trying to develop and kind of like curate their brand voice. Lean into you, because it's already there.
I love that so much. I think for a long time, a lot of coaches, and I'll even like throw myself under the bus here, really focused on, well, making sure your visuals are all very the same. Like you have the same colors and the same fonts and that sort of thing. And I think we might have completely missed the point of all that. if we're sounding like everyone else, or if we're not repeating ourselves over and over, or we're not really showing up authentically as us. And I know everyone throws out, you need to just be you, you need to be authentic. But like, what does that sound like? I think you just take that just a step further of where you can really see it and understand it and go, oh, okay, these are my words, these are my people. And if I continuously use these words, I'm going to find my people.
Totally.
So,
Absolutely.
all right, I love to let my audience leave with something from every episode, that's some sort of action item that they can go and take with them today. So, what is one thing that they can do today to solidify their brand voice?
Okay, can I give you two?
Yes.
Okay. First action item, and I'm with you. I want like something I can do right now. So first action item is I want you to start picturing that dream person, that dream client. And I don't just want it to be this dream client of mine wants to invest in my like greatest offer. That's true. That's awesome. But I want to know everything about them. I want you to think about what they care about, what like makes them tick, what their pain points are, what about them makes them your dream client? And then I want you to answer this really important question about them. When they hear me interact with them, what is the thing they feel inspired to do because of me, beyond just booking with me? When I do my own like brand voice audit and I ask myself what I want my audience to feel inspired to do after interacting with me, it's never just investing in my copy or investing in my services. It's I want them to feel so hyped on their own brand that they are ready to like do the dang thing, get in there and be actionable in their business because they are inspired. So I'd love for you guys to start thinking about that question. What do you want to inspire them to do beyond booking with you? And then number two, I really would love for you to start that brand voice dictionary. So open up that notes app on your phone, title it your brand name, brand voice dictionary. Know that it's a living, breathing, evolving thing, so there's no wrong answers, and just start paying attention and ask the people around you to start paying attention. What do you say? How do you say this one phrase? What's your go-to line? Anything that's kind of quirky in you, I want you to put it in that note.
I love that so much. And I'm just going to go ahead and give you a shameless plug here too, because I just completed Hanna's free 5-day email challenge called the Brand Voice Challenge, which was so much fun. It was amazing. I actually didn't get to complete it while it was live because I got sick and life happened, but I went and caught up with it, and I was completely blown away, and I felt so clear after doing that. So I went and peeped all of her other stuff, and she has a free download called the Brand Voice Basics that has some very similar items in there. So I would encourage listeners to go grab that as well. We'll link it in the show notes. But totally like run, don't walk, and go get it. And I actually made a pact with myself earlier back in July that I was not going to join any more courses or get any more free downloads or do any more challenges. But you were so sticky and clear in your marketing that I did your challenge because it was so unique. And I had such clarity after it that I went ahead and signed up for your brand voice bootcamp too.
Yeah. No, I know. I saw that so Brand Voice Bootcamp was that free challenge, and then Brand Voice Roundup is that next one. And I'm so glad you're in it. Like, oh, I saw you sign up for it, and I was like, there we go. I'm so hyped about that.
I love it. And that just goes, I want to really highlight the fact that you went and you put yourself out there and you did something that was fun, and there was a community aspect to it. There was stuff that was very tangible. It was something that you gave away for free that someone could actually get results with, and you didn't just go, oh, you need to pay to get the next step. And so you really built that like no trust factor. You gave someone a quick win, and then you were able to still upsell it to the next level and provide some really tangible things that I'm going to walk away from that challenge with. And you've probably made a customer for life too.
I'm so glad to hear that.
So I just want this to be an example to my audience of like, sometimes you do need to put things out. I would love to know what the numbers were for that. Like how many people signed up for the challenge and how many bought your offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So the challenge And I want to preface this by saying, because I feel like we all hold off from doing things because we don't have the Instagram followers, or we don't have the audience, or we don't have the email list. I have been there. I get it. I have a small audience on Instagram by, influencer standards. I have under 1,000 people who follow me, and a lot of them came as a result of Brand Voice Bootcamp. But I got 105 people into Brand Voice Bootcamp, which was the free challenge. And I also got about 80 of those people to be really active. We had group chats running, and they were nonstop for 5 days. And I could never have imagined that people would be that active in them, which was amazing. And then I opened up Brand Voice Roundup just to bootcamp. And I will be opening up to the public in a couple of days. But 10% of Brand Voice Bootcamp bought into Roundup. And I don't really know what great conversion factors are, but that seems pretty solid to me.
Yeah, I think that's really solid. We're going to do a whole episode on this. So we will leave the other details and all of my burning questions for that episode. But where can my friends find you and find out more about you and working with you and all of the things?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Boundless Copy on Instagram, and my name is Hanna, obviously. I have a website, boundlesscopy.com. You can learn more about me, more about Boundless's services. I have a shop up at the moment. It's boundlesscopyshop.com, where I'm Roundup is like, you can go in and purchase it there. Free resources that Chrissi mentioned earlier. And anytime I'm selling anything, it's going to be on that shop. I also highly encourage any of you guys to follow me on Threads, Boundless Copy, because Threads is like the spot on socials right now for genuine connection, community building, and just like a heck ton of fun. So that would be, if you're going to follow me anywhere, do it on Threads.
I think that's where we met, was on Threads. So yes, I think the last 3 guests that I've had have all been from Threads. And it's just so fun to pull back the curtain and like kind of see the quirky side of people. I saw the other day you accidentally kicked your phone across the room.
Sure did. It's fine. It made it.
Always fun. Well, Hanna, thank you so much for joining us today. And, to everyone listening, keep on doing the dang thing. We'll see you next time.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi Sperduto. If you know someone that could benefit from today's chat, please send this episode their way. Also, I love to see what you're doing while you listen. Share what you're up to while you listen to today's episode and tag me in your stories at Chrissi Sperduto for a shout out. Plus, while you're there, hit follow for even more tips, behind the scene views of what I do in my business, and plenty of encouragement for you along your business journey. If you'd like to explore more resources and learn how we can work together through one of my online programs or through one-on-one coaching, head to chrissisperduto.com. Please always remember that you are not alone on this adventure. I am always rooting for you. Until next time, keep doing the dang thing. Bye!